Diablo Adventures, Timberwolf here, another Diablo 4 adventure, still with my Stormclaw Druid Werewolf, and something I've encountered before, and I had told you earlier when I first started playing, I had no idea what they were for or what to do with them. These vampiric siphons, okay? Now we're all familiar with the blood harvest and the blood ritual area in the blood harvest, where you've got these three little pillars and totems. You got to put 50 blood lures in them, and you start this whole thing. Where it's like mob after mob of enemies. And it's a great opportunity to farm for experience and all kinds of goodies and stuff, right? But it costs you 150 lures. This vampiric siphon costs you nothing. Well, except for some of your blood. Basically, what you do is you go into it, you go towards it, you activate it, okay, and stay within that red ring. Don't leave. Now, it is eventually going to start draining you, but as long as you've got a good means of recharging your health, like I do with the using my vampire powers, you can keep up with it for a while. Now, it's going to continue to draw more and more enemies in here, and including more powerful enemies like blood seekers and so forth. It's a great opportunity to farm for gear and experience and blood lures. And yeah, this is phenomenal. Stay in that red thing, in that red ring as long as you can, and keep on fighting the mobs that keep on coming. And you can keep on farming and farming and farming. Keep it going as long as you want. Okay. Eventually, what's going to happen is you're going to get so overwhelmed with elites that you're going to have to get out of there, because otherwise you're going to die. So, but depending upon your strength, and in my case here, I've got two things going for me. As you already know, I'm using the Melted Heart Selig, which allows me to use spirit in exchange for health, and so my spirit constantly dipping down as the big bad guys are wailing on me, but the health is staying strong. Okay. Now it's starting to dip because I'm really getting hammered. So the health is starting to take a beating. But yeah, so I'm gonna get out of there. I'm about to die. But as you can see, though, there was a massive mob of elites that came at me. So yeah, this is a great experience farm if you can keep up with it. Obviously, it gets tough, but it's a great experience farm. Great way to farm gear, and of course blood lures, so then you can go of course in the ritual later. But that's what those that's what those ciphers are for. I finally figured that out. Just kind of trial and error. It's not like I looked it up and studied and it's just a matter of, I'm like, what do these do? And then as I was standing in it one time, I just noticed everything kept coming at me, and I hung out there for a while, and that's how it works. So that's what they're for. And they're pretty awesome. So I love it when I find them. I'm like, great. So yeah. The other thing I just did. Now you notice how long I stood in there. That's because I traded out my X-Falls Corroded Signet, because I kind of figured it's really not doing anything for the type of build that I have, and instead I exchanged it for this Loop of the Umbral. So that gives me a X3 resource whenever you crowd control an enemy. So per enemy, of course, being crowd controlled. So it's a great way to recharge my spirit, which in turn, of course, powers my Melted Heart, and of course keeps me alive. So again, yeah, that's actually working pretty well. So slowly making my way around. You already saw me defeat Suriel, so you know I'm already tanky enough to do that. Yeah. The only real challenge left, of course, is Lilith, which is not quite ready to do yet. Of course, I am only level 92, so I've still got some room to go there. But look at this mob, okay? My spirit is taking some dips, but it's coming back thanks to the Umbral Ring, as long as I keep in the fight. And my health isn't being touched. Fantastic. The only thing that would be a problem for me is like a boss like Lilith, if she hits hard enough, like one shot, is really the issue with her. You know, it doesn't really matter how fast you can regen health because she slaps you so hard. And the question I've got, and I'm not finding enough answers yet, her biggest attacks, I mean, are they physical damage or non-physical damage? Because if they're physical damage, then what you want to do is you want to augment your armor. But if they're non-physical damage, like say darkness, for example, well then you want to make sure you've got that up there. And I think I've got all of my non-physical damage stuff right around 70%, which is the max you can do. Which is good, especially useful for mobs, and you know, because you have a variety of different beliefs in enemies. Some of them use, you know, frost, some of them use fire. So obviously some of them use poison, so it's good to have those defenses up. But if you're fighting a specific elite, like for example Duriel, that primarily uses poison and physical, well then, you know, you don't really have to worry about having darkness and fire defense because it's not going to use those. So you can change your defenses around a little bit to bolster what attacks you're going to be expecting. And that's the main thing I'm wondering about Lilith, having a hard time finding so far. What are her attacks? Is it primarily darkness? Is it primarily physical? I mean, you know, what can we focus on for her defense? Obviously, some people are going to be like, oh, you want to kill her, that's what you want to focus on. You want to kill her as fast as possible. Yeah, I get that, but the thing is she always ends up, you know, wailing on me, you know, with that dive bomb attack, and I'm not versed enough in her patterns to know how to counter that and how to avoid it yet. So that's the challenge there, because I don't know the pattern. That's what I need to look at. But the thing is all these so-called gurus online, none of them seem to actually have a clear explanation for what to do. You know, it's just kind of like you're just kind of like lost. So I try to be as specific as possible. Like when you saw me fighting Duriel, one of the most helpful defensive things I find is, of course, using the evade, but only if you have the metamorphosis vampire power, because then evade becomes not just evade but attack, and it also inflicts him with the vampire curse, which in turn makes it vulnerable. I actually don't know if you can make bosses quote unquote vulnerable, but obviously any other enemy can. So that's why I really like metamorphosis. And then I've got that other power, vampire power, prey on the weak, which allows me to do more damage to vulnerable enemies. So I'm making them vulnerable, and which makes them, of course, weaker, and then I can do more damage. So it all kind of works together that way. And you can see I'm making most enemies vulnerable all the time. So, yeah. And also, having that vampire power metamorphosis gives me a total of 4 evades, and they're constantly recharging. And it does damage too if you slice through it. So it's a really great power to have, which is probably why it's, you know, one of the last ones you're going to get. So I'm a little annoyed that I can't do the Abattoir of Fear until I get to level 100. And it's like, what's the point? If you can't level up anymore, why bother doing the challenge? What is the goal? What, just to go on a leaderboard? Does anybody really care about that? I can tell you what, I don't. I really don't care. Having my name somewhere means nothing to me at all. What matters to me is getting more powerful so I have an easier time defeating things. That's all that matters. That's the only thing that matters. So, you know, having this event where you can't do it until you're as leveled up as you can possibly get, well then what's the point? Like, how do you progress further if you yourself can't improve your character? I don't get it. That makes no sense. You know, oh, well, you have to, you know, tweak this and tweak that. move this skill around, move that skill around, proc this. Listen, you know, all of that bullshit is just nothing but irritation to me. Make it simple. Give us some, you know, some more. Give us some more Paragon nodes. Give us more than a freaking 220 pool. You know, give us a 400 pool at least, so that we can continue to grow and improve our character. That's all. Would that be so bad? I don't think so. But anyways, there's an event that's happening nearby. What is it? Oh, Legion. Yeah, no thing. Oh, I got Whispers. Whispers to turn in. Yeah, Legion events bore me. I think the main goal of Legion events is to get Living Steel and Liquid Fear, and those are just to either get the Frost Boss or whatever you call him, the Ice King thing, or Gregoire, and I have no interest in fighting either of them because neither of them have anything I want.
It is done.
Let's see. I guess we'll go Amulets. Why not? I'm still trying to find a faster ring too, something with a faster attack speed option right now than what I have. This 15% is really sluggish, but so far it is just not working out. Still kind of curious too about getting a hold of that helm, Andariel's from what's his name, Duriel, but then I would have to switch my build again if I were to go that route, because then I would need to start using the X-Falls Corroded Signet again. If I actually, well, don't need to, but if I wanted to actually make the most out of the out of Andariel's helm, that's what I'd want to do. Okay, beautiful. Gonna be able to do some more damage on deletes. Love that. Getting down to it now. I'm gonna want to at least hit this node and then come up this way, snack these two, and that's pretty much. I don't think I'm gonna have a chance to activate anything down here. I don't think I'm gonna have enough points left to do that. So again, it's kind of like reiterates my whole thing of why I just think this is so stupid. This whole, oh, you only get X number of points. You can only do this, that, or the other. I mean, you know, really. Why give us 8 boards, but only give us a chance to use 4 of them, or 3.5, really? But whatever. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, so yeah, extra 16% damage to elites, and another 10% damage to poisoned enemies, which is pretty much everybody I hit because I'm using a poison attack on my Stormclaw. So that's cool. So yeah, these don't do anything for me. Now another thing, back to abilities here, and let's look. So this is my Bane, and Bane uses intelligence. So there's 3 more intelligence nodes I can hit once I boost Bane all the way up, which will, you know, give me another 10% or so for poison damage, which is cool. The vulnerable, this guy is depending upon dexterity. There are 2 more. Seems to be a similar notice a theme here. Each time you're upgrading a node or one of these glyphs, you end up being able to just get another 10% bonus to whatever it is you're doing. Yeah, it's interesting how that works. See, now same thing with this one. This one requires willpower, right? So let's look outside the grid here and see if there's any more willpowers left. There's one. And there's one here. And I don't know if we're going to be able to even hit that one. I don't think we'll be able to snag it, but same thing. So just a couple outside the grid that, you know, once this thing expands. So yeah, really kind of a, I mean, it's cool because it makes you think about it and strategize, but at the same time it's also stupid because it's so limiting at the same time. But at least it's better than Fallout 76. Fallout 76 gives you absolutely nothing. You know, once you pass level 500 there, the number means absolutely nothing. And that's what's really stupid in Fallout 76 is you can have a level 500 character be just as strong and have the same level of health and attack rate and everything as a level 5,000 character. In no other video game in the history of video games has that been true. You know, every other video game, the more you grind, the better the rewards. That makes sense. You know, that's just like life. You try harder, you get more, period. You go to the gym, you work out harder, you get stronger, okay? But in that freaking game, it doesn't matter how high you get, it doesn't make any difference. And so far, I've only spoken to one whiny little crybaby, skin-knee type crybaby, Gen Z or whatever. It's like, well, I don't like people being stronger than me. I think everybody should be the same. Okay, socialist. But as for the rest of us that understand that you need to really work to achieve things and that there should be a better reward for harder work, well, there you go, okay? And there isn't, so that's stupid. Okay, although who knows? Maybe Bethesda is pandering to the entitlement generation. It just thinks everybody should always be the same. Everybody should get the same thing. Yeah, go to live in the Stepford Village, ding dong. But anyways, so yeah, I really noticed her name before was Rusula. It's almost like Ursula. Anyways. This thing's almost done, but I've got like 50 Gillian's potions now, so I couldn't care less. But, well, let's do a nightmare dungeon. Still trying to level up after all. Belfry Zakara. Or do we want to do this Infernal Nightmare? Yeah, sure. Do the Infernal Nightmare. Level 50. See how my new Umbrella and Zelig combo can work in one of the somewhat higher level dungeons. Oh, by the way, 15 is the highest you can upgrade in one of those nodes, and yet for some reason the seasonal challenge says you want to bring them up to 21. What the hell's the point of that when they don't get any bigger after 15? Another question mark. Up like a fish. levels, unlike Diablo 3 where you could just throw those rifts and shoot different rifts, you know, like Torment. Although, actually, Diablo 3, not to mention, you were able to change the performance levels of the whole world, right? You can farm Torment 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, whereas this, you just got basically, you've got whatever that is normal, and then you've got veteran, step up, and then nightmare, and then you got torment. That's it. So the only way of getting higher levels is to just go with the higher tier nightmare dungeons. So kind of I don't know. I have a cautious about the now that I think about it, probably the reason why leveling up is so a long hierarchy process, higher levels, you know, because they cap you out at 100. And so I guess they want to make it, you know, the journey to that is as time consuming as possible. But again, I just think that cap. Skyrim, for example, which is obviously a different game, but that's the definitely. Techland did the same thing with Dying Light when they introduced their Paragon levels. You know, I mean, you could potentially max those out, but it would just take so flippin' long. Unless there were a lot of exploits at one time. And there were some for Diablo 4 as well, but they've been pretty much all found out and kind of patched. And now it's, you know, pretty much just, you just got a legit grind. No easy way. I mean, you can drink potions and I think that's why these Gillian potions are going to be so helpful. Are going to be so valuable coming, especially after this the holiday season. Their winter nightmare, or whatever you call it, is over, because you won't be able to get any more of those potions. You won't be able to get any more of those coins, but the potions that you bought, so I bet people are going to put those later. Like, hey, here you go, 115 potions, and I bet you people will buy it. So if you're new and you want to, you know, level up quick, cool though. We haven't been in these at all. Level 50 dungeons so far, so that's pretty cool. Oh no, nope. I don't do those. You know why? Because that doing those events in here has absolutely no impact on your mission progress. What's a distraction? I mean, sure, if you want to farm more, have at it, but you know, I'm not just here to experience, I'm also here to keep the level on my well, I call them notes, whatever they are, sigils there. So, yeah, so I'm not just level up first of all, and secondly, the other thing is that those says, oh, yeah, I know. This is when you find these, a broken shrine, you grab the cap, bring it over to the busted shrine, and then it makes it all better. It's a blast wave shrine. I don't think I'm going to touch those in a couple years. Activate it. A little mop like this. Go for it, but again, it has no impact on your mission progression. There it is. I thought, I would miss using the Tempest Drawer Helm because that made my Hurricane more powerful, which is actually pretty skill that I use. Probably why I'm not really missing it that much. And honestly, the combination of skeleton multi-card plus multiple range is really why we're doing it. So I'm good with that combo. I don't miss that other thing. Like I said, the only thing I've been curious about is the Andariel's visits, just because of the boost and poison thing. But now one type of defense that a lot of people will work. I could back for that, but for me, Gravy is way too useful of a boss killer. The bulwark, and the thing is, see what I'm doing right now. This type of build, for me, it's ideal because it's kind of a lazy build. And what I mean by that is I'm pretty much just only most of the time just holding down the attack. I don't have to keep on spamming multiple buttons all the time, which is what I prefer. I don't like the builds, like, for example, the, let's see, which one am I trying to get up here? Bane, there we go. So, for example, the boulder ability, or, using the bulwark. So, I don't like using builds where you have to constantly be hitting, like the boulder one, you got to constantly be hitting Hurricane, and then constantly hitting boulder, and then, you got to keep doing these, and then do your multiple attacks, so you're using 3 different types of, skills, and constantly have to keep on spamming the other ones while you're using the other one, and for me, it's really hard to grind and focus on grinding when I'm constantly remembering, oh, I got to do this, and then I got to do that, and then I got to do this to activate that, and this to activate that. Bull crap. I prefer the build where I could just hold down that one button and just focus on grinding and just focus on directing myself somewhere. Like in Diablo 3, that's why I used to enjoy the Whirlwind Barb so much. You just hold that button down and just keep on farming and just keep on spinning and spinning and spinning and hitting everybody. And you didn't have to click this and this and this and this and this. Okay, that annoys the heck out of me. Okay, I'm the kind of guy that when I drive a car, I prefer automatic transmission over stick. Okay, that's me. I'm lazy. I don't care. I don't want to have to remembering to do this and that and this and that. Okay, some people they prefer that. It's more interesting. I don't know what the appeal is, but you know what? Have at it. But for me, this build works really well. All I got to do is hold down that attack and just go, and that's it. You know, sure, maybe I can't push the highest tiers of the heavens with it. You know, maybe those other. Ooh, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. I saw accelerated for a minute, got excited, but nope. We're looking for something that makes my basic skill faster. And none of this does it, so. But hey, for a level 50 dungeon, I think we did okay there. I think we did very well. What am I looking for? Oh, over here? Yeah.
Don't ruin all that work.
Yeah, we want to go this way. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I'm going to keep on plugging away. Appreciate you tuning in. And until the next adventure.